Hey folks, last game versus the Isles. We're going to break it all down for you. Let's get into the next tilt versus the Kings right here on the OZone.
You're in the offensive zone, your place for Leafs hockey.
Hey folks, welcome to the OZone. That's Coach. That's KD. I'm the Devo. We're here to talk all things Leafs. Let's get things started. It was a tight game versus the Islanders. Leafs played great in front of Wall. KD, what'd you see?
Well, that's just it. I think more of this development or maturing of a team. You play kind of a flat first game of back-to-back. You go on the road into the island, tough place to play, a really physical, tough team, fast, and you handle them with your third-string goalie. You look great. I mean, when was the last time Leafs looked great at the backhand of a back-to-back? I guess last year, all the back-to-backs were against the same team, but the year before and the year before that, I mean, they never won the second game of a back-to-back. I thought they looked good. The goalie didn't have to save them. I thought, Wall played fine, but they played great in front of them. There weren't any second chances. Really supported the puck well, defended really well. All five guys deep center was where they're supposed to be almost all game. I thought they did great. I thought it was a great game.
Yeah, they reminded me a lot of how the Islanders were playing a year ago. Yeah. Coach, what'd you like?
Well, the Islanders they're decimated, that roster right now, and so you got to stomp on those guys, and we did. I love Marner's game. My brother's probably heading up there this weekend. He does it every month to take a dump on Paul Marner's lawn up in Thornhill. Hey, Rib, you don't have to do it this month. He's playing well. I also I like that third line, and we had a goal there that I've been dumping on Nick Ritchie, and let's face it, there's 171 forwards that have played 200 minutes at 5-on-5 so far this year. He's 169th in production. He has 1 point, 5-on-5. 1 point, 169th. You got to do more than that. But he does something here on this Andre Kasha goal. So you look at the picture here. He goes in and he wins this battle. We don't have the video, just pictures. But he wins this chips it to Kampf, who's been pretty good.
Yeah.
And then the end result is Kasha scores. This is great. Anytime we get somebody other than the core four to chip in and score is tremendous. So great. What an awesome road win. The Islanders were never in it from start to finish. Last thing I liked was it's a new building. It's supposed to be fantastic. Second game, did you see the stands at the end? It's half empty. Yeah. People are pissed. Yeah. You got to like that.
Yeah,
you got to like that as a Leaf fan.
And hey, getting back to Ritchie, I thought his physicality in the first two shifts. I mean, he leveled defenseman right off the get-go. And there's nothing at the beginning of the game that fires you up when one of your big guys runs another guy over. I thought that really.
Maybe there is something else. Maybe he could get a point. That's his first 5-on-5 point.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, look, I like the play of Wall, too. Didn't have to make too many tough saves. The team played really well in front of him, as Katie mentioned. And but he got a shutout, and the Leafs need this. Campbell's not going to be able to go, 70 games this year. They need some depth, and the Leafs organization has been, wafer thin right now at goalie with all the injuries, slew of injuries throughout the entire organization. So that's important. I love the play of 8. I thought Muzzin played really well last night, and he's a bit of a bellwether for the team. When he has an off night, the team doesn't usually get a win.
Great pass on that first
pass
goal.
Unbelievable. That pass to Mitch on the short-handed goal was just incredible. He went into the corner. He knew he was breaking, and he just turned and fired it right on his stick. Beautiful pass. Great finish, too. Great finish. Other than that, I like the play of Ritchie. He punished the D down low. You showed a clip of it, Coach, with him making a play for Kampf there. And in his first shift out there, I can't remember who he flipped over, but he absolutely destroyed someone in the corner there, and as Kev said, that's a tone setter. And he got an assist, so good for him. What didn't you like, Coach?
Okay, well, we've been talking about Andre Kasha and how important he is, how important he's become. That guy's a legit NHL player. None of us thought he'd play because he's been banged up forever. So good to take a flyer. He's been great. Showed the goal in what I liked. Here's what I didn't like. Okay, I don't know if you saw, a couple of shifts later, he's going in and he toe picks. And he hits his head on the post. And he ends up in a crumpled mess by the boards. Here's a picture of him by the boards. And look at this tweet. Literally almost dying multiple times every night. That's the truth. He's like Super Dave Osborne.
Yeah.
He gets the shit kicked out of him every night. I'm worried about him, fellas. I really am.
Yeah.
I think he's going to end up like this guy. Like John Olerud. You remember how soft his head was? He had to wear a helmet everywhere. I think he went to Dominion. He had to wear a helmet anywhere. So Andre Kasha's on that path. Buddy, take it easy.
Yeah.
And he's been great, but, man, he just seems like he's gonna blow up like the Blues Brothers car.
I mean, I said this a few podcasts ago. He's way tougher than we were sold when we got him in the offseason. That guy every day gets pounded, and he just keeps coming back out.
He's like Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah.
KD.
I think we know why he doesn't make it through a whole season, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
KD, what did you not like?
Yeah, well, I mean, last game, I think was the worst the power play has looked since last year. Entries were horrific. They went back to their strong sides, and you know how much that drives me crazy. I hope that's just not the default when things are struggling. They want to go to that side. We watched 4 months of futility last year with a guy who was the best goal scorer in the world, and they couldn't score with a power play that style.
Yeah, and they had
Off
the power
wings,
play
please.
going. They had it going pretty well there for a while, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not last time.
And I'll point out when you're struggling with the entries, you always hear coin the phrase, he's going to quarterback the power play. That means you take what the defense gives you and you gain the zone the way you can, the best way you can, or the only way you can. So people know the Leafs play the drop back delay. The drop back delay. A lot of teams do it fine. But when it's not there, they have to realize to get the puck to the wingers and dump the puck in and chase it. And they just weren't willing to do it last night or last game. And that needs to change. It's great to do that drop back if it's working. If it's not, you have to be able to adapt, get the puck in with speed with your wingers, get it deep and get control that way. So, it's one game. The power play was working fine before that, but a day like that where you don't even gain zone, you're not getting even a single shot. Most power plays, that's no good. No good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you want them to score when they have opportunities, especially with that lineup. But all things considered, a 3-0 win on the road with a backup third string goaltender. It was a tight game, but pretty one-sided, I'd say, the whole game. Nothing I didn't really not like. It was a solid, tight checking game. So let's get into some predictions here. This is where we kind of lay it on the line a little bit and call it out. We got the Leafs heading out west for another big tilt versus the Kings. Coach, we'll start with you. What do you think?
Okay, well, longtime listeners of the pod will probably know where I'm going with this one. But if you look at this game coming up, Jack Campbell, first in the league in save percentage. He's going to play. He's got a chip on his shoulder. Jonathan Quick, third in the league in save percentage. So, should be a low-scoring tilt, right? Oh, by the way, we got James Reimer the day after Thanksgiving. He's fourth in the league. All those guys are ahead of Fred. There's three Leafs or ex-Leafs in the top 5 save percentage. All that suggests the LA game should be low scoring, but I'm going to call a 4-1 win for the Leafs, and Matthews scores. I'm also going to call that the last time that they do better than the last time I was at Staples Center. Staples Center is a fantastic venue. Here's a shot of the outside, and they've got like a little courtyard with a bunch of restaurants and all that stuff. It's pretty nice. I went and saw the Leafs and Kings there in 2018. Leafs were down 5-1, ended up being a 5-3 loss. It was embarrassing. But they're going to turn it around here, and they're going to win 4-1 and go into U.S. Thanksgiving on a high, and then take that into San Jose on Friday and continue to take care of business.
Okay. KD, what's going to happen Wednesday night?
Well, I've harped on this before. As far as beating playoff-style teams, the Kings play a playoff-style game. They will take the middle of the ice away, especially in their own zone, and they will counterpunch. What have they done? Kings, Penguins, Canes, they have not done well. Those are the teams they've struggled against this year. So I'm calling for them to finally break through it, to be a little bit more disciplined, to score on the power play. They're going to score on the power play, win 3-1. I think this is the beginning of them starting to realize what it takes to get through these playoff games. Oh, I'm also calling for either Richie or Simmons to score a greasy goal. So that's the way to break through in the playoffs, and that's the way you're going to have to break through to beat a team like LA, especially at home. And
both those guys are due. Both those guys are
due.
So
been playing well.
So
yeah.
I have written down right here, calling it a 3-1 win with Simmons scoring one. So I'll have to mix it up a little bit. Let me tell you what I think. The problem with me and the Leafs playing the Kings is that there's two guys they got to look out for. There's a guy who might end up playing in Coach's Beer League pretty soon, but for the fact that he gets to play the Leafs and looks like he might be the next second coming of Wayne Gretzky. Because Philip Deneau is not the greatest center that's ever played the game, except when he plays the Leafs. So if the Leafs can just make Philip Deneau look like Philip Deneau, they got a pretty good chance. The other guy is Kempe. He's always had the Leafs number. He always pots in, squirts one in there at some point in the game, and he's a bit of a killer for the Leafs. If they can keep those two guys in check, I like a 3-1 win. I like Simmons scoring every game. He's my favorite guy out there, really. He's playing fast. He's playing loose. He's doing everything right. He should be rewarded for it. So that's what I'm calling. 3-1 win. Philip Deneau does not show up on the score sheet, but Simmons does. All right,
KD,
yo.
I know you got one more, KD, but let me just say this. I'm glad that Devo did not say Nikita Zaitsev joining my beer league team. He couldn't make our team.
Well, not only that.
What do you got, Devo? You had one more, didn't you?
Well, I was going to say, if he does make your beer league team, those games are going to be pretty long with all the icings, and those are late games anyways, right?
No, run time, baby. You might want him on the run.
Yeah. You want those. You want those when you're up. You want a guy like that who can get it down the ice. Yeah, absolutely.
Start icing him more.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, you heard it here first. Hit like, hit subscribe, because you want to know everything you need to know about the Leafs, and you're going to get your Leafs fix right here on the OZone.